place makes you feel safe? Pop your answer in the comments. Having a place of safety is something that is quite important for us, whether we're children or adults. Having that space where we can go that makes us feel safe and secure, and we feel like we don't need to worry about anything, stress about anything, or be anxious about anything is really important, especially for our mental health and our well-being. There are lots of situations and circumstances that we face in the modern world that often instill in us a sense of uncertainty, and a sense of not being safe, not being looked after sometimes. And so we need to have spaces where we can feel safe, where we can feel like it doesn't matter what's going on around us, that nothing's going to hurt us, nothing's going to get to us, and it's a safe place that we can relax, unwind, and let go of those fears, anxieties, worries, stresses, and be able to process them in a rational and reasonable way. So often for myself, it's finding a space like an outdoor space or a quiet, calm indoor space that helps me to feel safe. For my youngest, it's going down to the water. So whether it be a river or a beach and throwing stones in, that's his place of safety. For my oldest, it's going into the bush and being around nature, that he feels safe. So often we take our boys to the various places at various times to help them regulate, help them de-stress, and help them get rid of their fears and their anxiety that they may have around different situations and circumstances. The only downside to having something like that, especially for a child, is that that safe space is dependent a lot of the time on an adult being able to take them there. It's dependent a lot of the time, depending on where you live, on your weather. There are lots of days throughout the year where the weather is wet and windy and cold, and we're not able to get out into nature for my oldest or down to the beach or the river for my youngest. And so we've also created some safe spaces here at home where they know they can go to those safe spaces. They know they can unwind and they can relax. And we know that while they're there, that there's something there that they need to sort out, that there is some problem that they need to work through, and that we need to be available to support them while they work through that problem. So for our youngest, he has a tent in his room. It's just a play tent, one of the little kids ones that you buy from most department stores. And inside the tent, he has a lot of his comfort things. So he's got his teddies, he's got his blanket, and he's got his pillows. And when he's feeling overwhelmed at home and feeling like he can't cope and he doesn't feel like he's in a good space, then he often goes to the tent where he feels safe. And that's where he then starts to process some of his emotions and some of what's going on. And it gives him the freedom to do that in the way that's appropriate for him. So often when he goes to his tent, that means he needs a bit more support. So we're often on hand to talk things through with him, to sit down with him and support him through whatever he's experiencing. For our oldest, it's often on our bed and reading a book. That's where he feels the safest. And so we know often when he's come into our room and he's sitting on our bed that he's processing something and he needs some support to go through that and to deal with whatever the circumstance is. So at home, find some safe spaces where your kids can go to deal with anything that they might be going through, where they can go to process the emotions and the stress and the anxiety that they may be feeling, and let that go in a way that's appropriate for them. So it doesn't matter whether we are adults or children, in order to deal with emotions and the day-to-day living and the day-to-day stresses, we all need somewhere safe where we can go, that we can just be ourselves and not have to worry about anything else, where we can unwind, relax, and get ourselves ready to deal with the next stage and let go of the stage we've just gone through. So it's really important to find some safe spaces both at home and outside of the home. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe for more.